Is AI going to take my job? Or is AI simply the next big shift we need to adapt to? If you've asked yourself that recently, especially if you're mid-career or beyond, you're not alone. It's perfectly normal to feel uneasy. This kind of change feels fast and unlike anything we've seen before. Hi, I'm Patrick. Welcome to AI for Grown-ups, the channel where we take the confusion out of artificial intelligence and make it practical for everyday adults over 40. Artificial intelligence is no longer just a background feature in apps like Google Maps or Netflix. It's evolving into something much bigger, a coworker, a collaborator, and yes, in some cases, even a competitor. AI is already transforming industries like manufacturing, finance, customer service, and marketing, streamlining work, making decisions, and in some cases replacing entire roles. And while that sounds scary, it's not all doom and gloom. Just like past revolutions in the workplace, this one also opens doors. Today, I'll walk you through some simple, non-technical ways to future-proof your career, no matter your industry or background. Let's bust a myth right away. You don't need to be a tech expert, a programmer, or even particularly tech savvy to start using AI. What you do need is the willingness to try, to experiment with tools that are built to be user-friendly and actually helpful in your everyday work. Tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Canvas AI, and more are essentially assistants who help you become more productive and focused by taking care of the time-consuming parts of your job. Think of them as reliable co-workers you can ask to draft a report, summarize a long document, brainstorm ideas, create presentations, or even help prep for a client call. They're not here to replace your skills, just to help you do more with them in a fraction of time. Let's say you work in marketing and need to plan a product launch campaign. You can use ChatGPT to help brainstorm content ideas for emails, social media posts, and event names. For example, if you're promoting a new fitness app, you might prompt the following. Give me 10 campaign taglines for a wellness app targeting busy professionals. In seconds, ChatGPT will give you creative angles to explore. It's like kicking off a brainstorm session with a creative partner who never runs out of ideas. The best way to get started is by using AI for quick everyday tasks. You might try asking it to draft a rough version of an email, help you think through some ideas for a project, clean up the language on something you've already written, or even summarize a long article so you don't have to read every word yourself. Start small and you will quickly see how helpful it can be. Once you build that confidence, using AI starts to feel less intimidating and more like second nature. Pro tip: the quality of what you get from AI depends entirely on the prompt you give it. That's what prompt engineering is all about, giving the AI clear, structured instructions so it can deliver exactly what you need. I use something called the RICCE framework, which stands for role, instruction, context, constraints, and examples. It's a simple framework to make your prompts clearer and more effective. For example, instead of simply saying, write a summary, try this instead. You are a communications officer. That's the role. Summarize, that's the instruction. This 500-word email thread, that's the context, into 3 bullet points, that's the constraint, such as key decisions made and deadline reminders, that's the examples. Following this method helps you get better, more accurate results from AI right from the start. If you want to learn more about the RICCE framework, I cover it in detail in my video on mastering ChatGPT. You will find the link in the card above and in the description below. AI is powerful, but it has limits. It can't read the room. It doesn't understand tone. It can't build trust, lead a team, or make judgment calls based on experience and intuition. Your ability to read between the lines, connect with people, and understand the bigger picture, those are things AI just can't do, no matter how advanced it gets. In sales, AI might help you generate a proposal or respond to basic client questions. But it's your human instincts that help you know when a client is hesitating and how to adjust your tone or approach to close the deal. In education, AI can provide quiz questions or summarize a lesson plan, but only you as a teacher can sense when a student is struggling, even if they are not saying anything, and find a way to help that works for them. In management, AI can help schedule meetings or create performance reports. But leadership, motivating a team through burnout, giving constructive feedback, or resolving conflict, that's where human experience wins every time. These human moments, the instincts, the empathy, the trust you've built over years, they make you irreplaceable. So let AI handle the routine stuff in the background. That frees you up to do what only real experienced human can do. This is where we shift from using AI for basic tasks to using it as a force multiplier for your existing strengths. If point 1 was about getting comfortable with AI tools, the what and the how, this point is about the why you. Why your decades of experience, your deep understanding of your field, your ability to mentor, lead, or spot patterns others miss actually become more valuable when paired with AI. Let's say you're reviewing a proposal. Claude AI can break it down so you're not wasting time going through 40 pages, but you still decide what's realistic, what's risky, and what needs a follow-up. Or if you are in HR, you can have AI draft job descriptions or initial interview questions, saving you time so you can focus on screening for cultural fit and long-term potential, something only a human can truly sense. This is how AI helps scale your judgment, experience, and know-how, not replace it. It allows you to work smarter, mentor better, and contribute at a higher level. So don't just learn to use AI, learn to pair it with what you already bring to the table. And as AI evolves, so do the opportunities around it. The future of work is being built right now, and many of the most in-demand roles will require a mix of human creativity, industry insight, and AI fluency. Treat AI like a smart intern who can prep the first 80%, so you can focus on refining the final 20% that really matters. Here's a hidden superpower. Be the person who can explain AI to others in easy to understand ways. You don't need to be a tech wizard. You just need to be one step ahead and willing to share what you know. Say a coworker asks, "What is ChatGPT anyway?" Instead of diving into tech jargon, you could say, "It's like a smart assistant I use to help write emails, brainstorm ideas, and organize my thoughts. It's a simple, clear, and helpful explanation." Even better, show them. Walk a colleague through a basic prompt like, "Summarize this meeting in 3 bullet points." Or help them to clean up a draft email by asking ChatGPT to make it more professional or concise. If you work with someone who handles repetitive tasks like generating weekly reports, writing newsletters, or onboarding new team members, show them how AI can do 80% of that work in a few clicks. When you explain and demonstrate AI in a calm, helpful way, people start seeing you not just as someone who gets it, but someone they can count on to lead through change. That's how you become more than just a user. You become a resource. And when AI starts becoming part of hiring tools, training programs, and client communications, which it already is in many companies, your ability to explain and guide others through those shifts become even more valuable. Pro tip: if you explain something to a coworker and it clicks, write it down and save it. You can quickly build a little library of AI tips and examples others will find useful, and it positions you as the go-to person for support. Let's take a moment to remember, workplace changes aren't new. We've adapted before, from typewriters to email, from landlines to smartphones, from office-only jobs to remote and hybrid setups. But today, adaptability isn't just helpful. It's a professional superpower, and more importantly, is something people notice. Think about this. When your company starts talking about AI, do you lean in and explore? Or do you sit back and wait? The people who stay curious, even if they are not experts, are the ones others look to during change. Here are a few simple ways to show you're adaptable. Share something you've learned about AI on LinkedIn, even if it's small. Offer to help pilot a new tool in your department, just to see what works. Create a one-page list of AI tips that worked for you and email it to your team. Ask thoughtful, open-ended questions when new tools and processes are introduced. You don't need to know it all, but in a world where automation is expected to affect hundreds of millions of jobs over the next few years, the willingness to keep learning, to unlearn and relearn isn't just a mindset, it's survival. And the people who demonstrate that mindset become examples for everyone else. Because let's be honest, younger folks might know the tech, but they haven't been through the same waves of workplace change you have. You know how to navigate uncertainty with perspective and professionalism. And that's not something you can teach, that's earned. Your steady curiosity and willingness to evolve, that's your edge. And in today's world, it might be your biggest asset. AI is changing the workplace fast. It's automating tasks in finance, healthcare, manufacturing, and even creative industries. And yes, there's a real risk of being left behind if you don't engage with it at all. That's a reality we need to face, not fear. But here's the flip side. This shift is also a rare opportunity. If you're willing to stay curious, experiment a little, and build on the experience you already have, you're in a great position to stand out. Not by knowing everything, but by adapting with confidence. You don't need to be the most tech-savvy person in the room, but you do need to be someone who's open to learning and willing to evolve. So if you're over 40 and wondering how to stay in the game, whether you are in marketing, HR, law, education, or even the arts, here's the bottom line. Learn just enough to talk to AI like a useful assistant. Let AI handle the repetitive stuff so you can focus on what really matters. Bring your human judgment and leadership to the table. That's your advantage. Stay visible, stay helpful, and let people see that you're not just keeping up, you're learning and evolving. If you made it this far, thank you. Seriously, I know diving into AI can feel like learning a whole new language, especially when the pace of change is this fast. But just by sticking with it, you're already doing more than most. If this video gave you something useful, a new perspective, an idea to try, or just a bit more clarity, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments what's one part of your job that you would happily hand off to AI. You never know, your answer might help someone else figure out where to start. Thanks for watching, and remember, you are not late to the AI party, you're right on time. And see you on the next one.